Okay, Rabbi Isai. We're just going to go back to the beginning of the sugya, to the New Testament base at the bottom. Now we'll explain as follows. That when do you make a shechiyana? Shechiyana means I bana bayis chadash kanakin chadashim. I have a new house, new clothing. So we say, because of the excitement and the simcha of the new purchase, so I make shechiyana, make the bracha now. However, so we're going to see there are two levels of situations in which it's less of an exciting new purchase. Number one is if you already have it, you got it. Now, even though you never purchased it, somehow you have this kli. So let's say you had it, so the Rashi explains you got to be a Rusha. So, but it's still the first time you're buying it, okay, but so it's a little bit less. So we have to see. Even less than that, the second madrega is if it's you already bought it. You're just buying, you're buying it again. So you already bought it, you already experienced the enjoyment of purchasing. So that's even less of shechiyana. So that's the shaila. How far do we go to make shechiyana? Okay, we're on the bottom of the Testament base. You said it, Doma. Bona bayis chadash. Buying the Testament base by the two dots. Bona bayis chadash v'kana kelim chadashim. So Amud HaYomi l'shem lo kiyotzebe. V'yesh kiyotzebe. In tzarich levarach. Now that's clear. So Rav Moshe says that even if you have it, even though you never bought it before, you only got it kiyotzebe, you got it some other means through Yerusha. So that's enough. And Yechon says that's not true. I feel yesh kiyotzebe tzarich levarach. As long as you never made the purchase, so you need to make the bracha. But if you haven't, so even though you haven't be a Yerusha, you have the same car, you have this car be Yerusha, you got it, bought a new one, you make a shechiyana. Now that implies, but certainly if you already bought it once and you're buying it again, so you already had the excitement of buying it. So that for sure, that's even a lower level. And the machlokes is only, so the first lashon, the machlokes is in the higher level. Is it, what if you already had it? So there's a machlokes, and one says, no, you still make a bracha. But if you purchase it once already, then there's nothing to talk about. Now in the second lashon, the machlokes drops down a level into the second level. That it's if you never purchased it. But if you already purchased it, then it's you already had the excitement of buying this once, so you don't need to make a bracha. Rabbi Yechon says no. As long as since you're buying it, it's new. You may have bought it before, but it's right now you're buying something new, which you're happy to buy. It's exciting, so you make a bracha. Now, Nichlal. Now both would agree then in the higher level of the first case that you certainly make a bracha just because you had it be Yerusha and now you're buying it. There's certainly no reason not to make the shechiyana. Okay, so now we're going to ask Meisavei, what about his husband? So here it says you don't have it. You never got it Yerusha. You never got it. Here he says, tzarich levarach. Okay, so since it's your first time experiencing the purchase, you have to make a bracha. But I'm sorry, if you never had it, then tzarich levarach, because you don't have it. But yesh lo kiyotzei behen, ain't tzarich levarach. The Meir says, similar, we'll see, Chavhun in the first lashon, is that even if you have it, once you have it, you can make a new bracha. He says, no. As long as it's the first time you make it in Chayra, this is the when you see the diak, because having it in Yerusha is not a reason to make a bracha. But as long as it's the first time making the purchase, that's the machlekes in the price of Yemei Yehuda seems to be the identical machlekes on the first level. So on the first bish level is to come okay. So we have explanation. Rav Huna will be like a Meir, Rav Yechon Rabbi Yehuda. In other words, they argue that first level, whether or not you have it already, make the bracha. But that means everyone should agree that if you already bought it once, you certainly would not make the bracha. So that's going to be problematic for Rabbi Yechon in the second lashon. That says that even if you purchase it once before, you still every time you make the new purchase, it's still nushachiyanu. That will not go according to Rabbi Yehuda. Everyone agrees because really the price basically is the outline of the first lashon. So which assumes that it has to be your first experience in the purchase in order to make shechiyanu. And Rabbi Yechon says no. You can even if you're ready, as long as it's a purchase, you make shechiyanu. It's a chashav purchase, by the way. It's not like anything. Rabbi Yechon who wanted Rabbi Yehuda kana v'chazav no. So Rabbi Yehuda will have to be doiche matcha a little push up shot and say no. Rabbi Yehuda says even repurchasing, even though you've done it before, that is still shechiyanu. But he didn't say that. He said only when you have Yerusha, which is obviously a lower level. More of a reason to say shechiyanu. So Yehuda said, but you want to say no. Yehuda says even if he just was kana chayzer kana, he also needs to varach. So then why did he discuss the case? So why did he talk the case where he had it be Yerusha and he bought it? It was the first time buying it. So maybe only there Rabbi Yehuda says you make shechiyanu. No, the answer is the reason why we spoke about that case, the lower level case, is l'diach kochad Rameir. Because Rameir says even there, even though it's the first time you experience buying it, you still don't make a shechiyanu. And certainly if you bought it once already. So we want to tell you the Chiddush Rameir. So why do you want to? So Francis says, why Daf get to tell me that Chiddush? Why do you have to? It's misleading in Rabbi Yehuda. So liflig bekana v'chaz v'kana. Then tzarich levarach. Tell me in Rabbi Yehuda. Tell Laticha Koch Rabbi Yehuda. Tell us the case of kana v'chaz. Rabbi Yehuda says you do need to make shechiyanu. So the answer is korech the teira adav. Here the teira is you don't make the bracha. You don't have to make the bracha. So we always give the more powerful chiddush, the bigger heter. It's always harder to come up. It's not so hard to say. Now it's a little bit schwer because here the hetera is okay. You still make the bracha, so it's a big deal. But it's still called korech the hetera. You don't have to make the bracha. It's easier to say make the bracha. Yeah, shechiyanu. So no, we're going to tell you the heter. You don't need to. You're not obligated to make the bracha. Kivega a little bit bothered by that, I think. But. Okay, Rabbi say, okay, that was a little bit cheshbon. So now we're going on. Next piece, we got to get to Amos today. We're falling a little behind with Hashem. Through Shabbos, we hope to meet Hashem to finish. So it's Brachos, it's a little bit long dafin. If you're getting nervous in Shabbos, the Amudim are generally much shorter than they are in Brachos. So Akti Mavaitim Avorach Ala Ra. Person Laleinu has Ra, he makes a bracha. This is Ra. This particular Ra, it says in the Mishnah, it says, Mevarech ala Ra, Me'ein ala Toiva. We'll see what that means. Even it's Me'ein Toiva. Even though it has some, you make a bracha on the Ra, even though it has an aspect of good. So how is that? How do you have Ra, which is good? What is that? So the Ra explains, where is that? Where do you have that? So you can have where, there's a flood. There's a massive flood. The water comes into your land. I forgot the Tavi day. Now, in general, it's good. The Shlit is a good part, very good. Your land gets a lot of water. It gets irrigated, which is in farming is a big plus. But Shvacha, it's good. It gets flooded. It gets irrigated. Hashta miroi, but right now your land is flooded. That means your crops that you have there right now are ruined. So it's a toiva in a ra. It's got an aspect of toiva. So you still make a bracha. Al toiva, which is ra, hechidami, called the ishkach mitzia. So it's a toiva, but there's a downside. That's what Mitzia. After Raw Hiladi Day, the Shalom Malka Shakal Mine Hashem. In other words, here it's an issue of time. In other words, you found something and you gained something, but you were seen that it's known that you found it. So probably the government is going to come, and you're going to have to end up paying them whatever gain you had out of this for some reason. I guess that's the way it works with the Mitzia. So Dr. Mavaita, a woman is pregnant, his wife is pregnant, he says the following. Oh, this is the correct tefillah. Okay, you have to listen to it. We'll see there's different stages of tefillah, so we got to come to it. So we say to him, here you're at saying, so you make it tefillah. It says in the Mishnah, if a person says, as Ishta Muberes, and he says, oh, she's pregnant, I hope she has a boy. You're at saying she's a boy. So we say that's ridiculous. Tefillah shav. Because you don't make a tefillah on something which already is. That's already, she hasn't given birth to the baby yet, but whether it's a boy or girl, this is reality. So that's not called tefillah. You have to spell all the days. So for the Gemara, is that so? Well, Mahani, Rachami, you can't spell even on that. So it's very important. Can you daven for supernatural things, for things that go against the Teva? So the Gemara seems to say Pasha's not, but the Gemara asks, yes, Moshe of Yosef. Somehow Leah. She had a daughter. The next child was a daughter of V'tikra Dina. So what's the word Dina? What's the lashon v'achar? Amar lav v'achar shedona. That's what she called Dina. Shedona Leah Dina Atzmai. One more. There are 12 shvatim. Atilu Nitzais Yaakov. She said, I already had six sons, so that's half. For Arba and the Shvachos, and the Shvachos have 4, so that's already 10. So now Rachel doesn't have any. So im zeh zachar lo tiachos Rachel kach Shvachos. Okay, so maybe I'll have one, and the Rachel will still have another one. She's probably going to have something, but she'll be less than the Shvachos. So I hope that my child now won't be number 7 on the Shvatim, but rather it should be a girl, and therefore won't take away from Rachel. So the Chazal so you see, in fact, it is possible with tefillah to totally overturn nature. So the Gemara says it's true, maybe, but you're right, but that's not, we don't normally plan that. That's not the proper tefillah. The proper normal tefillah is we have to know where we can draw the line. Is a good question, but normally. No, there is an answer. It depends when the male, right, the baby is not formed as a male or female until 40 days. First 3 days the pregnancy should be misguided. From till 40 days, you could ask to have a zocher. It should get smushed. It should miscarry. For 6 months. That the birth should be safe. But I'll go upon him. You can ask, but you see, in the first 40 days, it's unformed. So therefore, it's a proper time to ask. So maybe that's the pshat over here. This tefillah that Leah said was that we mahani rachamim. Now, there's another question. Does that make sense? Is that really true that it's not determined beforehand? It really depends on what happens with the man and woman. If the woman is Masriya, her zera, she produces apparently in Chazal some type of zera, which with the conception. So if she's Masriya Tchila, it's the Geva. If the man is Tchila, if the Isha is Masriya Tchila, she's the Yad Zachar. So it's predetermined already before the 40 days. She's the Yad Zachar. So that's not always predetermined. That's only if one happens first. If they happen simultaneously, so then in Hanami it will be telling tefillah or whatever happens in the 40 days, not the inception. The person comes. Again, you shouldn't say tefillah if you hear something and scream, you say, I mispal. It's already too late. You don't daven on something that happened already. That's tefillah shav. That's not a real tefillah. You have to take tefillah seriously. Ma'aseh Bilal Zogin Shei Yamayim that Hillel was coming home. We showed it called Tzaf Chabiyim here, and he heard it scream. He said, I'm sure. Shane's with the Beisi. Well, that's what it says in the pasuk. Mishmur Ra Lo Yira Nocha Libo B'Tuach Hashem. He's not afraid of bad news. It's Nocha Libo B'Tuach Hashem. He trusts Hashem. Rava. Kolecha the Darshas LaHaikra Mireisha L'Sefer Midrash. Miseifa L'Reisha Midrash. This pasuk, there's two ways of looking at this pasuk. From the beginning to the end and the beginning. Miseifa L'Reisha, also Mireisha L'Sefer. Again, the pasuk says, Mishmura L'Yira Nocha Liba B'Tuach. So let's see, there's two ways you can look at this pasuk. Mireisha L'Sefer Mishmura L'Yira. What is the reason you're not afraid? Because the because you're betachan. First says betachan, you won't be afraid of Shmurah. You say for the Reish Midrash, Nachal Liboy, Betuach Hashem. It's because he's Betuach Hashem. So Mishmurah L'Yira. He won't be afraid. Well, sorry, sure. So what's an nafkamina? There's no nafkamina. There's just two ways looking at it. Right. Just to issue a presentation, how we look at it. There was a Talmud going after his Rebbe Shukah in Sion. And he saw, yes, he's going in a dangerous place. It's a shuk. There's all kinds of who knows what over there. Say, scared? You're afraid? I'm like, what are you afraid of? Chato. I see that you do Averis. Chatot. He says, how do you know? How do you know I do Averis? You see, Pochtu b'tzion in chatoyim. Those that are fearful in Sion is because of chatoyim. Omelei v'aksiv. Ashri odom ifachet tomim. Praiseworthy is he that's always afraid. So what do you mean? You're supposed to be afraid. That says, no. There's two completely different fears. One fear is stop being afraid. That's chatoyim, doing bad. There's another fear as to remember the Gemara, to remember the Tosfos, to have good pshat. That's in the Torah. That's what you're supposed to be afraid of. See. He sighed. Only Surim, boy, you want to get? What are you doing? Why are you sighing? That's not a good thing. You're going to get Surim. Who gave us? Who gave? What's that? Amalei. What's it? What's the pshat?
What is Surim?
Right. Surim, boy. Who gave last year nafshe? Boy, so who gave last year nafshe? Do you want to bring the Surim upon yourself? See. That's you see, if you're afraid and you're sighing, then it's going to but again, you're supposed to be a little scared. That's only when it comes to Divrei Torah. A little more right. A person comes into a city, he should be mispelled. So what do you daven when you come into a city? You have to always daven. When I come in, I should come to Shalom Nichlas Omer. And once you arrive, you should thank Hashem. I thank Hashem that He brought me here b'Shalom. Because I should see any. I should be able to leave. Shalom. So too to the Chayyim is saying the Shalom, you say to the Shalom, it's going to be kaf. And you should take me out, you protect me from all the dangers. Now, when do you have to be so concerned? I'm coming to the city. Well, what are you afraid of? So the answer is, we have friends. They went to a city far away, And in certain cities, you don't know what goes on over there. They're very dangerous, right? So that city, that they, people are hurt over there. They just do anything over there. Al Bikrach, where there's law and order, where it's done in Oregon. So listen, so if it's normally, people are not in danger by simply just walking into the city. Even if they do, but it's still not pashut. We have law and order here. You're entitled to a trial, a fair trial. But if you don't have the right lawyer, it's not going to help you. Talk about a person goes to the bathhouse, goes take a bath, goes to the pool or whatever it is, or to the mikveh. So you have to say tefillah. Save me from this place. If you never to if it does, at least let my misa be a kapara. So obviously it was very dangerous. And I think the Gemara said, we're going to see, there was a certain risk in these places. They had fires and there's water. Don't say that. You don't have to start saying that. If I get killed here, don't say those things. Don't open your mouth to bad. So he says, we were so bad. It was so bad. It was almost destroyed like Sdoim and Amora. What does the Navi say? And then he calls them, you Katsine Sdoim. So, don't start with that expression. When you leave the bathhouse, when you say, save me for the fire. The bath is built on a huge fire, and then the water gets heated up, and it's dangerous. He went he went to the bathhouse, and it opened up, and where the fire was, mamash opened up, it was a sakonim. He could have mamash fallen into the fire. And it was a nace, and it stood up on its amud, on its pillar. Or he stood on the pillar. He held on the pillar. He grabbed the pillar. And with his arm, he held one person. Another person. They held 100 people grabbed on to this one person holding up. Whenever a person does refuah, this actually, that's what we do. When you do refuah, you should say Yirat Yirat when she Esik Zeh L'Refuah. V'Tipa'eni. Ki Kel Roifei Neman Ata. Because Hashem is Kel Neman Refuascha Emes. She'en Darkan Shabbat Refuahis. El Shenogu. Really, people should be doing fuss. Hashem should be just David Hashem. But the meaning is, we take some pills, whatever it is, doctor says, but we must follow. Don't sit on your mishmor rough v'rape yirape. We can't should need reshus to rest of the rape. No, it's not true. The Torah says that the doctor should heal. When you get better, what do you say? Baruch Rafei Chinam. Okay.